Attention passionate San Francisco 49ers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC West and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on San Francisco 49ers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true San Francisco 49ers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and San Francisco 49ers fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, today we're diving into some recent developments that at first glance might seem like just another off-the-field incident. But when you look closer, they could have some serious implications for the 49ers' 2024 season. We're talking about Demarcus Robinson, the veteran wide receiver signed in the offseason to bolster the 49ers receiving core, and his recent legal situation, a story that's unfolding right before our eyes, but one that could impact the team's roster, its chemistry, and ultimately, its Super Bowl aspirations. So, what exactly happened? Well, back in November, Robinson was arrested on a DUI charge. That's never a good look, especially for a player trying to make an impact on a team that's in win-now mode. The legal process moved forward through January, with formal charges being laid. But here's the interesting part. Just this week, Robinson entered a plea of no contest to a misdemeanor DUI charge. That's a plea that's often used to resolve cases without a full trial, and in many situations, it can result in less severe penalties or consequences. And that's exactly what happened here. According to ESPN, Robinson's legal team negotiated an agreement where the charges of driving with a BAC of 0.8 or higher and driving without a valid license were dismissed. So, essentially, the most serious charges were dropped, which is good news for Robinson, but it's not the end of the story. Robinson will not be serving any jail time, which is a relief, but he will pay a fine of $390 and serve 3 years probation. Now, the fact that he's on probation for 3 years, but most of his terms will wrap up early, is something to keep an eye on. His attorney, Jacqueline Sparagna, mentioned that Robinson has already completed most of his probation requirements and expects that his case will be expunged after 18 months. That's a positive sign, showing that Robinson is taking responsibility and is committed to staying out of trouble. But as fans, we all know the NFL's stance on off-the-field conduct, a league that's been strict, especially in recent years, with players who violate the league's personal conduct policy. And this brings us to the next crucial point. What does this mean for Robinson's status with the 49ers? Well, initially, he's been doing well on the field. Last season, Robinson played for the Los Angeles Rams and had arguably one of his best years ever, setting career highs in multiple statistical categories. He proved to be a reliable target, someone who could stretch the field and provide depth in the receiving core. The 49ers, coming off a deep playoff run and eager to push further, signed Robinson to a 2-year, $8 million contract this offseason. It's a deal that shows they see him as an important piece of their puzzle, especially with Brandon Ayuk recovering from injury and the team needing consistent production at the receiver position. But of course, the big question mark now is, will this legal situation lead to a suspension? The NFL has a history of imposing suspensions for players who run afoul of the league's personal conduct policies, even if the legal charges are reduced or dismissed. Take, for example, Marcus May of the New Orleans Saints. He was suspended for 3 games after entering a no-contest plea for a DUI charge from 2021. That's a clear precedent. The league often enforces discipline regardless of the final legal outcome. Robinson's case might follow a similar pattern, although specifics matter. The league will review the circumstances, his plea, and his overall conduct before making a definitive ruling. It's also worth mentioning that Robinson's case differs slightly from May's, since it was a misdemeanor plea rather than a felony, and the charges were reduced. But the league's policies are strict, and a suspension isn't out of the realm of possibility. For the 49ers, this creates a bit of a dilemma. They've invested in Robinson, counting on him to be a key part of their offense, especially with the team's plans to build around their quarterback and a versatile, explosive passing game. If Robinson ends up suspended, it could open the door for other receivers to step up, like John Jennings, Ray McCloud, or even rookie talents that might be drafted or signed as free agents. Looking at the broader picture, the 49ers have always been a team that emphasizes discipline and accountability. Coach Kyle Shanahan is known for his high standards, both on and off the field. They've built a roster that combines talent, intelligence, and character, which is part of what has made their recent success so sustainable. But the NFL's landscape is always shifting, and teams must adapt quickly. The off-field issues of players, even those with immense talent, can sometimes derail a season before it even starts. That's why, for Robinson, it's so crucial how he handles this situation moving forward. The team's medical and legal staff will be closely monitoring, and the league's decision on any suspension could come at any time. If Robinson does face a suspension, it could impact his role early in the season. The 49ers are no strangers to dealing with injuries and suspensions. They've had to adapt before, and they're well equipped to do so again. But it's always better to have your key players available, especially when you're aiming for a deep playoff run or another Super Bowl appearance. The NFC West is brutal this year, with the Seattle Seahawks, Arizona Cardinals, and Los Angeles Rams all eager to challenge San Francisco's dominance. The Rams, for example, have been retooling their roster, and with Matthew Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Aaron Donald still in the mix, they're not going to be pushovers. The Seahawks, under Geno Smith and a promising young defense, are always dangerous. The Cardinals, though rebuilding, have a talented roster with Kyler Murray returning from injury, and they'll be looking to shake things up. So every piece, including Robinson, could be pivotal. Now let's talk about the bigger picture, the 49ers' season prospects. Last year, San Francisco finished with one of the best records in the NFC, reaching the NFC Championship game before falling just short of the Super Bowl. Their defense remains one of the league's most formidable, with stars like Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, and a solid secondary. Offensively, Brock Purdy's emergence as a reliable quarterback has been a huge storyline, and with a talented group of receivers, including Ayuk, George Kittle, and the potential addition of Robinson, the team looks primed to contend once again. But depth is key, and any off-field disruption can threaten that. The team's coaching staff, led by Shanahan and defensive coordinator Steve Wilks, is known for their resilience and ability to adapt. They've built a culture of accountability, and that's why the Robinson situation will be closely scrutinized. The front office will weigh the risks and rewards of keeping him in the fold, especially as they prepare for a challenging schedule that includes heavy hitters like the Dallas Cowboys, Philadelphia Eagles, and Kansas City Chiefs. The schedule is demanding, and every player counts. The 49ers are entering a critical phase, where focus, discipline, and unity will be tested. Fans are understandably anxious about how this legal situation might unfold. Many are already thinking ahead to the season opener, imagining how Robinson's presence on the field could influence the game plan. There's excitement about his potential to be a difference-maker, but also concern about the off-field issues that could cloud the team's chemistry. That's why it's so important to keep a level head and trust the process. Robinson seems determined to move past this chapter, and from what we know about him, he's eager to prove himself both on and off the field. As we look forward, it's worth noting that the NFL's disciplinary policies are always evolving. League officials have emphasized player accountability, especially in recent seasons, and they'll likely take a cautious approach here. Robinson's case might serve as a precedent or a warning for others, highlighting the league's commitment to maintaining a certain standard of conduct. For the 49ers, it's a test of their leadership and their ability to manage adversity. They've built a team that's resilient and hungry, and that mindset will be crucial in the weeks ahead. In conclusion, this story about DeMarcus Robinson is far from over. It's a reminder that football isn't played in a vacuum. Players, lives off the field, can and do impact the game. The 49ers are a team with championship aspirations, and they'll need all their pieces in place if they want to make another deep playoff run. Whether Robinson will be available for the start of the season, or whether his off-field issues will lead to a suspension, the team's ability to adapt and stay focused will be tested. We'll be watching closely, bringing you the latest updates as they come, and hoping for the best for Robinson and the 49ers. Remember, folks, the NFL season is a marathon filled with ups and downs, surprises and setbacks. But one thing is for sure, the passion, resilience, and determination of the 49ers and their fans continue to be the driving force behind this incredible journey. So stay tuned, stay engaged, and keep that 49ers spirit alive. We're in this together, and I'll be back soon with more news, analysis, and insights about your beloved team. And now, San Francisco 49ers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the San Francisco 49ers. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest San Francisco 49ers news.